Says live. It says we're live. Looks like we're live on both.
Hey everyone,
Hey.
we're doing a Q&A on navigating love, answering questions about love and relationship.
And these questions are focused on how to navigate being in love and being in a relationship. And they're questions that we've gotten asked before, and questions that we thought were really going to be valuable and helpful to all of you out there in your journey to being liberated and navigating in love.
Why is it important to be good at relationship?
Relationship, well, it's I don't think it's good. I think it's great. I think it's an amazing skill to have, to be able to master first a relationship with ourselves, our own relationship to our heart, our emotions, our mindset, and then therefore to be able to really be great in relationship to another, because I can only really love you as greatly as I can really love and accept myself. And so the more that I can love and accept myself so deeply and motivate myself and celebrate myself, the more that I can be that type of partner for you and give those gifts to you. So it's great to be in love, because we all want to be in love. And nothing is more painful than being in a crappy relationship and feeling like we're in a hell or a prison that we can never escape, when really we all want to be great at love and experience great love.
Yeah, or settling, or most people don't actually get in their ideal relationship, right? Because they focus more on significance in work and money and things like that, and they use it as an escape. So it's tricky.
Yeah, that's true too.
But what
That's
they
a really
really
good
want
point.
is to be in love and to have that experience.
Yeah, and it's a really beautiful experience, and it can also be quite challenging of an experience as well. But also remember, it's by design. Any great thing that's meant to help us grow is going to bring us challenges and give us these opportunities to grow, to learn, to grow, to get better, so we can become more skilled at love. Because
Yeah.
loving really is a skill. It takes skill to learn how to be in your loving, not just be in love one time as a stagnant state, but how to actually be in your loving is a skill set, because it's a part of your beingness. And how do you be in your loving? Well, things that we're going to share with you today, I think are going to help you be able to be more in that loving state, again, with yourself, but also with each other. Because we all know that if you're in a relationship and it's painful and it's sucks and it's hard to communicate, or you feel disconnected and there's no charge or no turn on, it really negatively impacts every single other area of your life, your productivity, your performance, your health, your bank account. Like, it literally truly impacts every single area of your life. And so, to your question, that's why it matters, and that's why it's important to be great at relationships.
So we're going to answer 3 questions. The first question is, what is love, Josephina? What is love? How would you define love? Most people don't even know what that is. They get confused. So tell us.
They do. Well, the intro to my love method actually is exactly what this is about, which is what is love. And there's a variety of different ways, but one of my simplest ways to say is love is God. Love is the divine. Love is the energy of everything that's created. And then we turn it into romantic love, which romantic love is a form of an expression of how we experience love. But romantic love isn't like love itself. Love actually goes into a chemical reaction in our body. So the love hormone and the love chemical is known as dopamine. And then that dopamine and the serotonin creates the bonding, which then creates the experience of love. So love can be a chemical response in our body, as well as a feeling and an emotion that we can create. But really, my definition of love is God, it's life. What's your definition of love?
Yeah, it's a little esoteric, but yeah, I think
It's a little bit esoteric,
no, it's
that's
good
true.
too. I agree with that for sure. I think life, everything is love. Love creates the universe. But I would say also
Exactly, yes.
love, to keep it a little simple too, right? Because then it gets hard to grasp. But love is, it's really just being in a state of just pleasure, which you like to say a lot.
I
And
do.
and love is, you could have love for everything, right? I could have love for the birds that I see. I could have love for the ocean. And it's really just actually letting go of any limiting beliefs and stories in front of the way that doesn't allow you to express and fully experience the pleasure that you want to experience.
Yeah. Love is a force of life.
So there's many different types of love, right? We have intimate love between each other, but then I have love for friends, I have love for my family, I have love for people I don't even know that might be listening.
Right.
So there's different varieties and levels as well.
Expressions of love, yeah.
Next question.
Great.
Let's choose what good one actually. I would say, what do you think is the biggest challenge people experience when it comes to love in an intimate relationship, and why they can't actually find themselves sometimes being in an intimate relationship?
That's not on the questionnaire, but we could go and do that. That's not on one of the
It's right
questions.
over here.
But we do get some of those
It's
questions.
right over here.
Okay. I
So-
like this question. Ask it again. What's the
So
challenge
what do
about
you think
what?
is the biggest challenge people have with love, and that impedes them from experiencing love in an intimate relationship?
I think that's a multi-layered question also, but I would say one of the simplest things that I could see that impedes people or hinders people is fear. I mean, whether it's your belief system, and that's usually like fear is based on a belief system, but usually it's like fear of judgment, fear of not being accepted, fear of losing love. So therefore, we don't show up as our authentic self, and we don't actually get to experience the type of love that we want, or get to give the type of love that we want, because we're afraid, whether we're afraid of losing it or afraid of not receiving it.
Yeah.
I feel like that really creates an inhibitor to creating intimacy, because intimacy requires vulnerability, authenticity, and a willingness to be seen in those spaces, which is where love is cultivated more of. That energy is cultivated more in those spaces.
Yeah. Great.
Yes. What about you? What do you think, baby?
Well, I think it's most people, we're conditioned to, one, think we need somebody else to feel love, and also that we're going to relationships to get something instead of give something. So I'd say those two things, right? We don't need anything else or anybody else to feel whole and feel the love that we want to feel. And then two, not go into the relationship to actually get something. Most people want to get something from this relationship, get something from this person, whether that's a physically attractive person, whether that's the sex, whether that's the feelings of love and intimacy. But it's not about going to get something. It's about what do you want to actually bring and give and share. And then the wild part is, again, it just reverses the paradigm where you have it all inside you and you are it, and then wildly enough, you actually start attracting more people by default just by being in the energy.
Being a generous lover.
Yeah.
Being a generous lover always pays off. Scarcity lovers, stingy lovers, not the vibe. That's not going to create an everlasting long-term relationship, but it requires generous lovers to be able to love generously.
Cool. Then you choose the last question.
Last question. I'm going to ask, baby, how can people spice up their relationships, especially if they're in a long, distant relationship?
Of course you're going to ask that question.
I want to ask you that question so you can answer that one.
How can they spice up their relationships?
How can they spice up their relationship, especially if they're in a long distance relationship?
I'd say, well, one is to always be innovating and doing new, unique things, which we try to do, and you've taught me to do as well, to build that habit, right? So I'd say trying, innovating and doing new things and not getting caught up in the monotony of routine.
What are some examples of that?
Well, I'd also say really being a detective and understanding what your partner really craves and what their fantasies are, what their desires are, what their dreams are, and really understanding it. And then you can be creative and deliver on that. So some people like we were talking about, like sexual experiences, eventually some people like kinky sexual experience, some people like sensual sexual experiences, some people like other types of sexual experiences. So when you understand that, you can deliver on that and create more spice, right, for the relationship. And then to do it from, if it's a long distance relationship, but the cool thing is you can do things like this.
Yes.
We've been on FaceTime many times when we first started dating, and even when we aren't together now, we use FaceTime. So it's a blessing that we have that ability. So I'd say, ideally physical being close physically in proximity is ideal, but that's not always possible. So leveraging technology to keep that there is a great tool.
And if you feel a little bit shy about that, which some may do, especially sometimes we don't love looking at ourselves on camera, one fun, innovative thing you can do is reading. Like, we both love to read. And so, reading erotic poetry together or to each other is a really beautiful way to spice up and activate more of that energy if you haven't been feeling that spice. Being able to put music on and dance as a woman for your partner, or starting with yourself in the mirror, is a really beautiful way to get comfortable, to build up for dancing with your partner. Is really fun. Role playing, even if it's silliness, starts to like spark things up in the bedroom and just in the household in general. Silliness and playfulness, coming back to that. And yeah, spontaneity and surprise. So don't be
Yeah.
afraid to like think out the box and talk about different things, even just having a conversation about, like he said, these are ideas, things that you would never think could happen. Just by even talking about it creates more intimacy and brings more aliveness and energy into your relationship dynamic.
I love that.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I
Cool.
love it too.
So we're
Beautiful.
going to wrap it up. If you're watching, or if you're watching this on the replay, make sure to subscribe to our channels.
Subscribe, hit subscribe, and comment below if you like this, or what one of the 3 things that we spoke about spoke to you that you would really like to lean into. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being with us. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay.
How do we end?